things out, because obviously I have to quit one job to get another job. But yeah, I'm gonna pause really quick because I want you guys to see my cat. So this is my cat, Mo. Come here, Mo. Come on. This is my buddy. For you cat lovers out there, this is Mo. This is my best friend. And he's my buddy, and he's getting me through life, and he's very grumpy right now. Oh, I know. Okay. But anyway.
Missing someone with all your own. Missing someone with heart. How much you missing?
Welcome back. So I just wanted to make a little segment on my current status as of recently. So last time I talked to you, I was waiting for a response from the airline that had me do the assessment, the second assessment or whatever. That airline has still not said anything, so I'm kind of a little panicked, which I think is okay. I don't know if that's a bad thing necessarily or a good thing, because I've heard kind of both reviews. Sometimes the longer it takes, it just means, they're just reviewing or whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're out of the question. So yeah, but I basically spent the last few days thinking about what life is going to be like if I actually were to get a position, whether it be with this carrier or the other legacy airline that I already have the interview with in January in Dallas. And honestly, I don't know. I'm kind of like a little. I didn't really think about going through and both the numbers and the logistics and the location and all those things, because I was just so caught up in being prepared for interview. So I never really thought about it. But I took some time in the last few days to kind of break down what life would be like and the timelines. Of course, I don't know. Everything's hypothetical because I have no idea which airline, what time frame we're looking at, when training is. I can only go based on like what I've read. So hypothetically, what I've discovered, hypothetically I guess, is that if I were to say get this position after the face-to-face I have with the airline based in Texas, it looks like training begins for those from that face-to-face at the earliest in March. I don't know if that's correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. But usually that's what it seems like they do. So hypothetically speaking, this airline has a 5.5, I think 6-week training period. So, I had to think about that. And then I also found out that this airline doesn't pay during training. So that's going to be a little tough. I don't know if you guys remember me mentioning this, but I am currently employed still. I'm a full-time designer right now. So the transition is going to be a little weird, especially if I were to go to training, just because, life's a little crazy, and I don't know that I would be able to make that happen. Just with no money, I'd have to kind of figure things out, because obviously I have to quit one job to get another job. But yeah, I'm going to pause really quick because I want you guys to see my cat. So this is my cat, Mo. Come here, Mo. Come on. This is my buddy. For you cat lovers out there, this is Mo. This is my best friend. And he's my buddy, and he's getting me through life, and he's very grumpy. Anyway, so yeah, so I went to the kind of mix of things, trying to figure out like what their timelines were, what days they were available to train, and all those things, and what that would do to me. So basically, essentially, I live in North Carolina. I live in Greensboro, North Carolina, which is just a little, like an hour and 20-minute-ish north of Charlotte. Now, the airline in Texas has a base in Charlotte. Now, obviously, I would love to get that base because that means that's less hassle. However, it seems to be a very senior base for this airline, and I don't know about the even possibilities. I haven't even heard of it being on the list for the last few years, so um, I'm not so sure that would even be an option for me. So what I did is I basically took into account the timeline and what time like frame I would get out of training, even if I made it work. However, I had to make it work financially. Right now, I'm planning to save. I don't know what other airline or air flight attendants that went to training for whatever airlines. I don't know how they make it work if they don't get paid. I know, luckily for me, I have a steady income right now, and I live on my own in my own apartment, which is both a blessing and a curse. Because if this job comes through and I have to just say sayonara to my current position and work, wherever I have to, do or work however many I have to work before I go to training, that's all fine and dandy. But it's going to be when I get back that it's going to be the problem. So what I did is I just kind of like went through all the base locations that I know flight attendants usually get assigned or are optional assignments out of training, and I just looked at what I was going to do from there. And basically the situation is I have an apartment here. Yeah. So when I say I have an apartment, I mean I have an apartment until August 2019. So even if I go to training March and I get out of training at best like late April, early June, I still have like a few months to kind of live here. At least I have to live. Well, I mean, I guess I could sublease, but I'm not doing that. So that makes things like crazy for me because I don't even know what I would do with all my stuff. Like, I literally have sewing machines and piano and like a giant TV and a bed and all of these things that I've accumulated to make this transition to move here for this design job, and I'm starting to be like, what in the hell am I doing with my life? But I'm very happy with my decision to at least try to do this and make it happen. So what I did is, instead of panicking and thinking, oh my god, they're never going to call the other airline, because the other airline, like I mentioned before, is the one I really want. They pay during training, and they're based here in the southeast, like in Atlanta. So, I'd be more than happy to work for that airline. It's not a preference over one being better or whatever. I've heard all sorts of stories about each airline. I just like the one based in Atlanta because that airline is closer to me. And if I'm gonna have to make a commute temporarily until my lease is up, I think that the locations that are options for me for that airline are better, especially considering they're gonna pay you during training. But anyway, so what I did is I literally spent like forever in a day doing all of these like little whatchamadoodles, like city location / commuting and hypothetical situations where I was deciding if like the airline that I was getting a job at had a plane going out of Greensboro, GSO Piedmont International, and going to wherever I need to go. So what I discovered is, for the one I have the face-to-face with in Dallas, that airline has bases in Boston, New York, Los Angeles, Charlotte, Dallas, Miami, Philadelphia, Chicago, Phoenix, DC. Now, I saw on the list, this is something I don't know anything about, but I saw on the list that there is a location for this airline in Raleigh-Durham. Raleigh, RDU, whatever. Raleigh-Durham is only like an hour and some change from me, so I could drive there until my lease was up, which would be the best thing in the world because I wouldn't have to be at the airport every day necessarily. Which makes me kind of happy because I'm kind of settled here, like I don't know about, I will obviously move, but it's like, I don't know, I just feel comfortable enough to stay put with all my stuff. I mean, my cat's happy and I'm happy, and if my cat's happy, I'm happy, right? So, no, but I mean, the people are just really cool, and the cost of living is lower. And so, like, logistically speaking, I don't have to necessarily, like, leave here because I've seen other people commute too. So, what I did is I went through the list of just, like, the ones, because obviously I don't know anything what's going on with the other airline, but the one I have the face to face with, um, yeah, there aren't very many options because when I go to look at it, uh, they pretty much all have a connection, flight wise, to commute, except for Charlotte, which I would just drive because it's an hour and 20 minutes, and Philadelphia doesn't have a connection, so I could go to Philly from here. It would be an hour and 27 minutes flight. And the DC location would be an hour and 30-minute flight out of Greensboro. I don't know how it's less to go to Philadelphia when Philadelphia's further, but anyway, that's just what I researched. But yeah, so that leaves, oh, in New York, no connection, New York. So an hour and 45 to New York. So with that said, it's like Charlotte is a senior base. So the chances of being like assigned Charlotte out of training is just like unheard of. Even I don't even know if it's on the list, to be honest with you. I have no idea. But I mean, obviously, I would prefer it be on the list. If I could get yes, I would. But then it just kind of leaves 3 locations, DC, Philly, and New York, which are all pretty much the same in terms of commuting to. And so I was like, well, if I get New York, there's international, but my mom lives in New York. But again, snow, and I have a car, a Kia Soul. She can't, Onyx can't take that. She can't take that at all. But I don't have to live there necessarily if I just go there for work. I mean, that could work, but it can't last forever. And I don't know about doing it long term. I know commuters, hats off to them. I haven't done it yet to say if I don't like it or do like it. I just know me, and I don't like adding work just to do work. Like once I worked as a visual merchandiser about a 35-40 minute drive from me right now, simultaneously to my design job I have now. I just picked it up as an extra thing, and it was a nightmare because just the traffic and the driving and the waiting and all the things it took just to get to work. Then I was tired and I just wanted to drink like 17 coffees, and I had to go work, and I had to be there for 8 hours on my feet. And it's like, that's essentially what commuting is going to be like as a flight attendant, except you're going to go from A to B, then from B to C, and forever and ever and ever. And then you still have to get back home. So going the day before and all the things they tell you about with commuting, like I don't know how I feel about going somewhere the day before and living with like people in crash pads. I know some people do it and love it, and I know some people did it and they hate it and they will never do it again. I am not the type of person that can handle crash pads. I live in a 1-bedroom. I love my space and the comfort of my home. I don't want to be in a crash pad. So that just means that at some point I need to move to another city in order if I want to keep doing this position. And with the airline I had the face-to-face with, it's limited. New York is going to be a nightmare to live in, to move to, because at some point my lease will, be up in August, and I will have the freedom and liberty to move all I want. But at that point I could maybe get a transfer to a city like Dallas. But again, Dallas is a senior base, and I don't know what the chances of even getting that is, because at that point, once August comes and the lease is up, I totally will move anywhere. I just don't want to move somewhere that's out of my comfort zone. Like, I'm born and raised in the South, and as much as I love New York City and I love Chicago and I love Philadelphia, I don't know. It's a different culture all the way around. So maybe I'm just freaking out. I mean, that's possible. Maybe it won't be that bad, but I just feel like, it would be cool to see how it goes, But again, I did the same thing with the airline I'm waiting to hear back from, the one based in Atlanta. And, oh, that's Mo. Hi, Mo. Mo. Okay, bye. But yeah, so I was looking at the ones based in Atlanta, and for the airline based in Atlanta, and the same situation occurred. Boston has connection, LA on the opposite side of the freaking planet compared to North Carolina. Detroit wasn't that bad. for this airline. It's only an hour and 49 minutes for me direct. But again, commuting there would be fine, but hello, definitely not gonna live in Detroit. No, can't do it. Nothing against anyone who likes Detroit or lives in Detroit. I just can't do Detroit. But if I had to work there, I could do it. But again, at some point, a move will occur. And if I put a request to transfer in and it doesn't come in by the time my lease is up, then I'm forced to do what with my stuff and go where? So that just gets messy. Minneapolis is an absolute not. No. Atlanta would be like my all-time favorite of all bases, because it's all my friends live there. I graduated from Georgia Southern University in Statesboro, Georgia. Hi to all of my fellow Eagles out there. Yeah, I would like Atlanta. All my friends, everything's great. The sun's great. It's in proximity to everything. So I would love Atlanta. Cincinnati, no. It has a connection. Salt Lake City's too far. Seattle's the furthest. And San Francisco is absolutely a nightmare to live in. I love visiting it. It's a beautiful city. I would never commute there, and if I got assigned that, I would probably die because it's the most expensive place to live in the US. So no, I'm gonna say overall, my top choice is Atlanta, with the airline based out of Atlanta. Again, that may not happen, so. But like I said, if I have to commute, I will just commute. So, but that's the research I did, and basically all I did from there is just kind of make a little list for my own mental self, and did some research to compare the two. Obviously, I'm way further along in the interview or the job process with the one based in Dallas, but I still don't want to completely rule out the one in Atlanta. So I pretty much took the locations, ranked them for each one, and looked at the training. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's some truck outside. But I went through and looked at the training, considered the pay, considered the savings, all that. And then also the reserve systems for these two, or reserve, process or whatever for the two airlines are, to me, what makes and breaks the decision. For like, I could get based anywhere. I could make anything happen. I mean, I'll have the funds to do it, and I'll have the manpower to get all my stuff out and go wherever I need to go. And I have the will and determination to get on a plane and go to work. So it's not necessarily going to be a negative if I get either one. But personally speaking, if I say I get based in the same city for each one, I would rather work for the carrier that is in Atlanta, or based in Atlanta, only because that carrier only makes you do 6 days of reserve every month, which they even allow you to place on your calendar however you want to place them, as long as the 3 days are grouped. So 2 segments of 3 days. And that's all they do. And the rest of the times you're bidding. And their bidding is a little bit different as well than other airlines. However, contradictory to that process, the one based in Dallas has a one-on, one-off reserve system. And I just don't know, like, all the vloggers I watch, as much as I love them and they do it so well and they make it look so easy, I just don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel about getting woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning for an entire month. Like, that's got to be hard. I mean, I know a lot of people probably don't think it is, but I don't even like getting up at 7:30 in the morning. So I cannot imagine 3 a.m. wake-up calls living in Astoria and having to commute to Newark at, be there by 6 or whatever it is for an 8-hour flight to Rio, whatever, Brazil. That just, no. But I will do it because I want this job and I want to be a part of that industry, and I love the idea of what's, to get from it. The positive gains from it are way better than the negative cons of the position. So I'm down for the get down regardless, but I just thought I would share my quick little thoughts about this, and hopefully this will help somebody else. But in the meantime, I am going to head out to go run some errands and go get something to eat and pet my cat. So, but anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye. So side note, before I actually let you go, totally just realized the face-to-face is in like 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I'm like panicking inside. I have so much to do in 3 weeks. I did find a tie today that matched the airline's colors, which is good. And I did eyeball some suit jackets, which is even better. And I have a few other things to kind of get, but I'll probably show you guys closer to the time when I get things put together. I also failed to realize and mention that on top of all of this flight attending thing, I am also applying for graduate school, also in Texas. So there's a whole bunch of application stuff I have to do for that. And I'll probably do a vlog or something on that just because that's my real life. I also have to get another haircut, another beard trim, and I need to get more sleep because my dark circles are out of control. And I don't know if I can wear makeup to this interview in Dallas. And also, I 155% need to lose weight. For the last month, I've been eating like crap because I love Popeyes. And anyone who knows me knows I love Popeyes. And if you don't know what Popeyes is, or you're from part of the planet that doesn't have Popeyes, I feel so bad for you. But yeah, at some point I need to get back on this health kick that I was on before my birthday month, which is this month, but last month or whatever. And I have to do a lot of other like cosmetic things. I want to look my best for this and be prepared, but it's very exhausting. So anyway, just wanted to interject and give you guys a honest rundown of my brain. So in the meantime, I will see you guys soon. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed keeping up with the life of me, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and stay tuned for clips from the next vlog. And as always, keep in mind, positive thoughts generate positive feelings and attract positive life experiences. Bye!